0868 104 106, and I'll come back to that. I want to go back to the phone lines. John, good morning.
Oh, Neil, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother, I'm good. Can you please explain to me something I saw at the weekend, which they're calling the Watergrasshill referendum? What's it about?
Oh, yes, thank you, Neil. Yes, we had a public meeting. It became known that the ground floor of the Fir Tree bar in the main street of Watergrasshill was being converted into bedrooms to accommodate refugees. So we had a public meeting and we set up a core group, and we wanted to do something peacefully, democratically and respectful to the law enforcement. So we decided that, we'll run our own referendum. We just call it the Watergrasshill referendum for Watergrasshill residents only. To get the consensus of the people, what is the mood of the people and what are their thoughts.
Okay, so this Watergrasshill referendum isn't happening until the 1st of September of a Sunday, right?
That's correct, Neil, yeah.
Okay. So
10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The location for the voting hasn't been decided yet, but we'll put it on our Watergrasshill referendum Facebook page, and we'll put up a few signposts on the day. But I just like to take
Forgive me. Oh, no, that's fine, John. I'm happy to let you. I'll come back to some of your points. I will. What's the population of Watergrasshill?
It's about 2,000 people. 2,000
people. And how many of them would be of voting age? Half that, maybe? Or what is voting age for the referendum?
We'd expect, I actually don't know that, Neil, and I'm not sure of the...
are children allowed to vote, or do you have to be over 18?
We keep it the same rules and regulations of any election or referendum.
Okay, so what's the problem? What's being proposed?
Well, from what we know, Neil, right, that the ground floor of the Fir Tree Bar is being put into 10 to 12 bedrooms, and that there'll be 4 people per bedroom. That is what is alleged, right?
And is the Fir Tree Pub, forgive me, is the Fir Tree Pub and Restaurant not operating as a pub and restaurant anymore?
No, no, it is not, no.
And tell me, is it in the middle? Is it in the middle?
Due to a fire.
It's what?
It was closed due to a fire.
And is it in the middle of the town?
It's in the centre it's in the heart of our village.
The village, okay. So this would be, you say, 40 asylum seekers, refugees, Ukrainian war refugees, international protection order. Who?
We actually don't know, Neil. But look, we see the volume of people coming into the country. What is worrying the people of Watergrasshill, and worrying myself as well, Neil, is that you have undocumented, unvetted, military-age men coming into our towns and villages, right? It's the consensus of the core group of the referendum that they'll be of no benefit to the community, and it's unfair on these people as well, Neil. We're setting up jails. The government is setting up. They're run like jails. To be honest, you're stuffing these people into small areas, right? They have nothing to do. And very little money, probably.
It's just that I've seen.
Neil, if I sent you over to another country, yourself, Mick Mulcahy, PJ Coogan, and Ryan Tuberty, and put you all into the one bedroom, right?
Yeah.
How long would you last?
I'd say we'd last very well. We'd have fierce crack and great stories. We get on like a house on fire, I'd say.
I'm sure he would for the first week, Neil, maybe 2 weeks, but I'm sure he'd be getting on each other's nerves.
Okay, my friend, you're probably all right. You're probably all right. But I saw some paperwork saying that the planning authority can confirm that the Fir Tree Bar and Restaurant has been issued with a letter of intent by the Department of Children, etc., 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 under the Emergency Refurbishment Ukrainian Programme. So surely that would be women and children and elderly people.
Well, I'm not 100% sure of what people are going in there at the moment, Neil. But
if it's Ukrainian women and children and elderly people, are you saying that
welcome, Neil?
They are welcome. They are welcome.
Yes, and don't forget, there's a lot of diversity in Watergrasshill already, and all these people are welcome because they came into the country with their documentation, and they're contributing to the country. And they're very nice people, and they're all welcome.
Okay, but I know because I have a copy of this letter here from Cork County Council. It's dated August the 2nd, and it says, to accommodate beneficiaries of temporary protection under the Emergency Refurbishment Ukrainian Programme. So does that mean you'll be calling off your Watergrasshill referendum?
Well, no, Neil, we still want to get the consensus of the people because, a few years ago we were talking a couple of thousand people. Now we're talking over 20,000 people a year. So, they had one site in Fermoy. They now have 4, and there's rumours of more sites coming up. So where is the limits?
Well, a lot are being moved around now. You might have seen at the weekend. I was reading an article that said that a lot of Ukrainian war refugees are being moved from where they are now to other locations because, like I saw it, say for instance, they were talking about Rosscarbery, they were talking about Carsavine, they were talking about Derrynan, other areas up around the country, where they're being moved, and a lot of them are unhappy to be moved because they're settled where they are. And of
course, their kids are going to school and, uprooting them again. But they're moving them and they're slipping in the single military-age men, who no documentation and no vetting.
And what's the worry there, that they could have criminal records and they be up to no good in Watergrasshill, is it?
Well, Neil, if any man or any person that throws away their documentation to enter another country, they're not welcome in my book. You either come in clean or you don't come in at all.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the Watergrasshill meeting that you had recently.
Yes, we had a public meeting. There was a Facebook post went out that we'd have a meeting in the plaza of Watergrasshill. A big shout to the council there. They made a fantastic job of the place. Beautiful brick paving, raised beds, landscaping, lighted signage. They made a beautiful job of it. But when we went to the plaza for the 6 o'clock meeting, right, there was actually 50 or 60 people there. None who were residents of Watergrasshill, Neil, right? They had Palestine flags. They had signage saying refugees welcome. And that's their opinion, and they're entitled to it.
And are they were those people saying refugees welcome, were they from Watergrasshill?
None of them were from Watergrasshill. Okay. They were there, they were sent there, they were asked to come there to intimidate the residents of Watergrasshill from having a public meeting about their little village. Okay. And the future of it. But I'd just like to say, Neil, the Palestine the people supporting Palestine, hats off to them. These issues need to be highlighted.
Well, why would people have Palestinian flags at a meeting in Watergrasshill?
I don't know, Neil, but look,
refugees and asylum
they were there. They were there to. But, the unfortunate thing was, it felt like they were there to intimidate us. They took up the whole plaza. They spread themselves out, leaving no room for the residents. So we had to go down to the school to continue our meeting.
Okay. So you're looking at between 10 and 12 bedrooms on the ground floor that would house 4 people per bedroom. Your worry is it would be 40 males. The option. What?
Eventually, that's what could be in Watergrasshill, because we've seen it in Fermoy.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And Neil, there's actually people in tents in Fermoy today, because when these residents come in, obviously they have friends or family or other people that come that don't have accommodation and want to stay near their own people. So we're setting up shanty towns. The government is losing their
Where are the tents, forgive me? Where in Fermoy?
I'm not exactly sure the location. A work colleague told me about it, and I didn't get the location off him, to be honest. But I can be 100% assured that he's not telling me lies,
Okay, but what are the chances that there are Irish people in tents, or that people with addiction issues or nowhere to live, as opposed to, say, for instance, a refugee?
Well, they assured me that there were refugees, right?
Okay.
They did assure me that. But Neil, I'd also like to just highlight, Watergrasshill is a small village. We're already after doubling in population in the last 10 years, right? Our services, we've only one guard. We have no doctor. There's little or no amenities. Job prospects are fairly low as well. We've an hourly bus service, which is better than most villages. When I say hourly most of the time anyway.
Those that will move in there, and I'm not saying this in a negative or critical light, although many would criticise it. Those that will move in there will be provided with their own coaches. Are you aware of that?
Quite possibly, Neil, yeah. Nothing would surprise me anymore. But could I say one other thing there, Neil? Our own Tánaiste, right, not too long ago, actually agreed with us. He made a statement in the Dáil. I'd just like to read it out to you. It's only one paragraph, right? It was posted by Vince Gallen before Grip Media now, so it's a few years back. And before I say it, Micheál Martin has done remarkable work for Cork City and County. And when he became Taoiseach in 2020...
Wait a second. Where'd you get that from?
Listen, Neil, look at the... Sorry, no, my phone is hopping there.
You remember the Fianna Fáil party that you would say something like that?
Listen, I voted Fianna Fáil all my life.
So give on. No, I mean, I just have to pull you up here from the point of view of balance. You say that Micheál Martin has done incredible work for Cork City and County over his career. Is that what you said?
Over his career, and when he became Taoiseach in June 2020, he made many Corkonians very proud to have a second Cork.
Name one thing that he did that was fantastic for Cork City and County.
Listen, he's done. Every school is looked after around the country. There's plenty of grants. They're all well furnished. They're all well.
No, Cork. You said Cork. That's all. Don't give me something that he's done for Ireland. Tell me one thing that they've managed to.
We're going off the point a little bit, but I'm just saying, look.
So you can't. Is that you telling me? You cannot think of one thing that he did for Cork City and County exclusively.
Well, look at the children's hospital that's been built. Like
that's Dublin.
Look, that's Dublin. Sorry, look at the Dunkettle roundabout. That's European Union funding, and probably most of that was done under a Fine Gael government. Yes, but it still takes good politicians to bring these things to fruition. Listen, he's a good politician, right? He had good beliefs. He has strayed, in my opinion, right? Or maybe he hit his head or something. But in saying that, they're all after straying, But let me tell you what he said anyway, Neil, right? This is as per Micheál Martin. There are an increased number of people who are casually banding about the word racist. This does nothing to foster an informed and balanced discussion of the issue. We should have no place in our debate for the naive extreme of those who think we can have complete open borders and manage any number of refugees. When did he say that? Micheál said that in 1999. In 1990, well, I can tell you one thing, pal. His tune has totally changed since 1999, like the world has. But listen, it's 25 years ago. That was 25 years ago. My belief hasn't changed. No, well, his belief has changed completely, to the point that when I asked him on the last time I had an opportunity to talk to him, neither today nor yesterday, I said, I said, you have to get a control of the borders. And he said, what do you mean? I said, so many people are coming in undocumented without any paperwork. You need to control the borders. So I said, you need to close the border to people who are coming in here, shouldn't be, particularly with no information, with any documentation or certification. And he said, where is your humanity? Micheál Martin has no problem with open borders and people coming in, up to and including, it would appear, those who are getting off planes with no documentation. And this is why we're running a referendum, regardless whether it's Ukrainians or whoever is coming in, right? We need to push back to the government. I'd encourage every town and village around the country to do something similar, and they probably do it a lot better than us, to gather documentation, get the consensus of the people, tell the government you're here to serve us, not to dictate. Okay. Will you stay in touch? Will you stay in touch with me, so? Because I just want to take another call here. But your one anyway, Watergrasshill referendum, Sunday the 1st of September 2024. That's Sunday week. Sunday week. Can I say one more thing, Neil? Just one. I just like to take the opportunity to urge the people of Watergrasshill, right, both from the village and the countryside, whoever is a resident of Watergrasshill, to come out and support the referendum, cast their vote. It's a secret ballot. Whatever your opinion, it's your own. What is the question? What is the question on the referendum? Do you consent to the Fir Tree Bar being used to accommodate refugees and or asylum seekers? Please tick the box yes or no. You know that if 99% of people vote no, it won't make a blind bit of difference to what's going to happen. Neil, it's like, if we sit back and do nothing. I know that. I'm just saying you can't. There's nothing illegal going on. The people have to listen. There's something deeper going on. Like, our politicians aren't fooled. It's going to break the country. Okay. There's going to be civil disobedience. You can't.
There is huge division. I get that. And they're not all people who are being labelled as being far right or extremists or thugs or whatever. There is huge division. Okay, do stay in touch. Thank you so much. I will come back to you if you stay in touch. It's a fortnight on Sunday, so we will talk again on it, John. Meanwhile, Mary, good morning.